Yeah. Yeah, they really did.
I think the coach was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and I think he did a nice job too.
Oh yeah,
he really
very
did.
nice.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a few shots here. So
Go ahead, walk around. I'm just sitting here relaxing.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. So, if the rain will just hold off, but if we're inside, it doesn't matter, I don't guess.
Oh, that was That's why I could go there and head to the layout.
Nothing. Angela's coming home about, they get here about another hour. She and Craig.
She's not coming?
Yeah, they're coming. Uh-huh. No, she's not. Craig's driving along with her. Yeah.
But up until then, it was called a nice sweet day. And he was untouchable.
Miss Banks, we've had a wonderful season, and we're so proud of our talented athletes. And at this time, we'd like to have all of them stand and our coach to give them a round of applause.
The ice cream machine.
Yeah. He's there.
Okay, now you can hear me? Oh, great. Oh, now I can. Kathy Ray, whenever we played Washington, it's a school in Atlanta, these players had 3 rackets that they shuttled and gave back and forth to one another. And so Kathy talked to Greg Grover, the pro here, and got 8 rackets from Dunwoody Country Club, and also got rackets from the different players, old rackets that they were not using anymore, and gathered them up, and she's going to take them down to Washington School. So Kathy, where are you? We'd like to thank you. Pat Schumann helped coordinate driving to the matches. Pat, where are you? There she is. Izzy helped call for the banquet, and I'd like to thank all the moms and dads that have been so supportive and the parents that went to Macon. Coach Redford and his wife surprised the girls and came to Macon for the state championships, and he was the coach last year. And lastly, I'd like to thank Mrs. Springer and Mrs. Reichert for their support. Mrs. Springer came to the regional matches, and Mrs. Springer and Mrs. Reichert both suffered through the rain delays at Laurel Park. And now I'd like to present our principal, Mrs. Springer. I want to thank the 1991 team for continuing the winning tradition at Dunwoody. Not only at the county level, but at the regional level and at the state level. Even though we always have a winning team in tennis, this year's team has been one of the best teams we have had in years. I also want to thank you for winning, not just on the court, but for in the classroom and in leadership positions and in your conduct at school also. Traditionally, there are two teams that have the highest grade point average, swimmers and tennis players. And again, this year, swimmers and tennis players have the highest team averages. Both teams have between a 3.2 and a 3.3. Since we didn't compute the Peachtree grades, and I can't tell you exactly what it is, but when you look at the grade point averages of most of the tennis team members, we find that almost everybody has above a 3.2 or a 3.3. So many of you have above a 3.5, and we do have some 4 points also on the tennis team. I thank you also for the kind of behavior you exhibit at school. It's very rare that we ever have a tennis player with a conduct problem. The conduct problems that tennis players have generally are being late to class or forgetting to stay for detention, but nothing any more serious do we have from a tennis player. I thank you also for the kind of conduct that you exhibit at the matches. I guess in tennis, it's probably the easiest sport that you could be dishonest in, but we always get comments from other coaches about how respectful the tennis players are. I admired how Danny handled a very unique situation at the county tournament. He handled it in a very gentlemanlike way. He also knew that if he didn't win his match, we were going to still win on another point somewhere else. But thank you, Danny, for being such a gentleman that day. Tennis team is really a team of families because we have several brother and sister groups here with the Hewers and the Raddocks and the Hendricksons. I also thank you for the way that you've taken in the new players of the team, because you took in Robbie Raddock when he was a new student at Dunwoody, and Danny when he was a new student, and made them a part of your team and made them feel really welcome. And then Leontine, making her feel welcome so that she felt welcome not only as from another school but from another country. So thank you all for accepting the new people and for really creating that family atmosphere in tennis. Another thing about tennis players is that you're not just tennis players, you're really well-rounded people, and all of you make some other contribution to the school besides just on the tennis court. We have outstanding artists on our team, members of the flag corps, cheerleaders, football players, swimmers, and basketball players. Another reason that you have such a winning tradition is because of the way your parents support the tennis team. Your parents are always there for you, whether it's to make a bulletin board, to call and say you won and we want the tennis team on the marquee, or to drive you to a match, or just to be there to support you in the stands. Another reason, though, that you have such a good team is because you have a good coach this year, too. Not that you haven't in the past. We've always had good coaches, but we have a good coach this year. He called this summer and said that he'd like to talk to me about becoming the coach, and I even met him in the parking lot, and we decided in front of the school that he would be the coach. So he's told me that he would like to come back again next year. In 13 more days, our seniors will be leaving us and going to Indiana and Georgia and Colorado and Dartmouth and other places. And we have a new rising senior class. And I know that our new rising seniors and our rising juniors and our rising sophomores are going to continue the winning tradition at Dunwoody. Thank you very much for all that you do for our school. Selena, would you like to come up and help me? We have 11 outstanding seniors this year, and whenever I call your names, will you come up? Kathleen's going to help me. We have a small memento and engraved coaster for each of them, and we wish them much luck and happiness in their new endeavors, and we'll miss them. Shelley Hewer, would you come up? Adrian King. Meredith Martin. Vicki Seacon. Justin Hewer. Andy Littman. Tom McFerrin. Mike Peterson. Brian Radix. Danny Swanson. And Josh Uden. We're going to really miss those boys and girls, both of them. Right now, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Ray, and she's going to, in turn, introduce the coach. Mrs. Ray, there you go.
First of all, I'd like to acknowledge our Booster Club president, Mrs. Hendrickson, and thank her on behalf of all the parents for her hard work and her many phone calls, because without her, our season wouldn't have gone so smoothly. Thank you. Once in a while, a very special person crosses your life's path. Sometimes it's a teacher who's helped you through a tough course, and sometimes it's a coach who's given you the encouragement and confidence you need to perform your best. Years later, the memories of your high school days will always include these special people, for part of them stays with you. Coach Pierce, with his quiet, soft-spoken ways, is one of these special people. The fact that both teams had very successful seasons is a direct reflection on the mutual respect he and his players had for one another. Long after the trophies are forgotten, these players are going to remember this season as being one of friendship and personal growth. We, the parents, would like to applaud you, Coach Pierce, for making that happen.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ray. Well, it's been a tremendous year. I couldn't have asked for a better first year as a coach. I think most people could figure out it was my first year, since half the coaches asked me what place I played on the team. I acted as a spy many times. I would infiltrate the other team, telling them I played, and be able to get some secrets. But you know, it was a great first year. I was in Macon at the team tennis tournament with the girls, and Coach Redford was there, as Ms. Hendrickson mentioned, and he said, well, it looks like it was the dead weight you had to get rid of before you could make it to Macon, and meaning the girls making it there. And I thought, no, I inherited the team. I had nothing to do with it directly, but it was definitely an enjoyable year. The kids played super. I thought that the girls and the boys did as well as they could have, both losing to the state champions and going as far as they did. The boys making into the quarterfinals of the state tournament, losing to Brookwood, and the girls making it all the way to the finals, losing to Walton. So I thought it was a tremendous year. Usually when I coach a team, I've coached several at Peachtree, and I have goals for the team, what I would like them to do, and this being my first year, I didn't exactly have any goals, but to win, as you see, 2 region championships, and the girls to go and be runner-up in the state championship it was a great year for me, and I know it was a great year for the kids. And this is a great group of kids to work with as well. Being a first-year coach, it's tough coming in to get to know the players and then get to know you and so forth. But I thought the year went tremendously well, and it's because of the players, the high-quality players, and not only tennis players, but quality individuals. and those seniors going on, I have a lot of respect for them, and I know they'll do well in their college careers. Okay, before I go on to the acknowledgement of the players and giving out the many awards we have, I would like to thank the parents for the support you've given the team and for the way you've worked with us and helped the team to run smoothly and so forth. It's been a very good year in that respect as well. And I look forward to seeing many of you next year. Those aren't graduating. What I'd like to do is call up, first of all, the majority of the team members. We had 14 members of the girls team and 15 on the boys team, and unfortunately everyone wasn't able to play every match. And we were able to get plaques for those kids who did play in the region tournament, the top 7, and the state tournament. So what I'd like to do is call up the players first and give them their awards. The players who lettered, and also all seniors lettered. It's something a tradition I'd like to carry on, is always lettering seniors on the tennis team every year. So regardless of the number of matches played, the seniors did letter. So as I call your name, please come up and receive your award. If you would, stand along right here until we get all team members up, and everyone can be standing as I finish. First of all, one of the alternates for the boys team was Josh Uden. If you'd come up, please. Okay, and for the girls team, an alternate, Shelley Hewer, is also. The other alternate for the boys team, Tom McFerrin. And Tiffany Herring, our other alternate for the girls team. Brian Radix couldn't make it. Well, he had to leave. I'll give that to Robbie later. And Stacy Kleinman. Andy Lipman. Mike Peterson. You good? Andrea Halad. Robbie Radix. And Andrea Teratu. Carla Murray, Trey Muir, Joe Schumann, and Keith Rising, and also Brian Radix could not make it. Brian had to leave, but we look forward to having those of you who are not seniors back next year, and look forward to a good season. I'm going to go ahead and call the players who are receiving plaques now. We'll start with the girls' number 2 doubles team, Leontine Toussaint and Tracy Boyd. Okay, and for the boys, Jeff Hendrickson and David Rowlett. Number 1 doubles for the girls, Adrian King and Amy Schumann. Number 1 doubles for the boys, Justin Hewer and Eric Goldkling couldn't make it tonight. Number 3 singles for the girls is Jeannie Hendrickson. Three singles for the boys was Danny Ginsberg. Two singles for the girls was Vicky Sika. Two singles for the boys was Danny Swanson. Number 1 singles for the girls was Meredith Martin. Number 1 singles for the boys was Evan Ray. Like I said, they both had wonderful seasons. The girls making it all the way to the finals of the state playoffs, being defeated by Walton, and the boys being defeated by Brookwood in the quarterfinals of the state playoffs. It was a tremendous year. Let's give them all a hand up.
Go ahead. Yeah. No. Hard to do.
We were also able to buy the girls shirts for making it to the state runner-up in the state championship. So each of the girls, why don't you come up right now and get a shirt. Meredith? I guess everyone just come up and get a shirt. So,
It's nice.
and Shelley Hewer, we got a shirt for her. She was able to go to Macon with us and watch the girls play and was there as an alternate, so we also got her a shirt. Oh. Okay. This year for special awards, I decided to give one outstanding player and one coach's award. For the girls, I decided to give the one outstanding player, and it was a hard decision to make on who was, because they're all outstanding players, of course, but I decided to go ahead and give two. These two players exhibited great skills all season, as well as great attitudes. First award goes to Meredith Martin. She had a very positive attitude all season. And she played well. I think one of the highlights was defeating Erica Chang. She made it to the semifinals of the region tournament and did a wonderful job. Congratulations. This next player, she dominated at number 2 singles. Played very well. I remember mentioning at the North Georgia tournament. She didn't have much competition. I think she won it 2-2 or 2-1 or something. And it looked like she was having a competition to see how many lines she could hit on each shot. Tremendous player, has a lot of skill, as well as a quality individual, Vicky Sika. Outstanding player for the boys. He had a tremendous season. He faced a lot of tough competition. But I remember in one of his best matches in the semifinals of the region tournament, he was down 5-2, and I thought it looked like it was over for him. He came back and won that set 7-5, and then went on to win the match. And again in the state quarterfinals in Macon, the same thing. He was down 2-5 in the second set. Very mentally tough individual, as well as just a great all-around player. And the outstanding player this year is Evan Ray. The Coach's Award this year for the girl goes out to someone I can identify with as far as living in a foreign country for a year. And it's hard to cope living in another country. You're constantly thinking about home, but she did a super job in school, as I understand, all year long. She did a super job for us. She's a very committed athlete, a very good tennis player, always had a positive attitude, and I just felt like she really deserved the Coach's Award this year, and it's Lansing, Tucson. Coach's Award for the boy player this year goes to a guy who was a surprise for our team. A lot of people didn't know about him. I remember when we beat Stone Mountain, he defeated Brian Zwicker, which is a ranked player. The coach turned to me and said, well, where's he ranked? I said, he's not. He's just a good player. She said he is a good player. He's always a surprise. And he won some key matches to win matches for the whole team. Someone asked to describe how he plays, and I said, never gives up is the best word to describe, because he simply held on every point. He held on to it until he won it. It may have taken a while, but he would always be there. He'd hang in and win it. I thought he exhibited a fine attitude all season and did a tremendous job for the team. And the Coach's Award goes to Danny Swanson. Again, I'd like to thank you for such a tremendous season, and without the support of parents and fine kids, we wouldn't have such a good season. I feel real fortunate to have been coached this year, to be involved with so many quality people, and I thank you for having such a good season, and Ms. Springer has asked me back for next year with accept the job, thankfully. So I look forward to next year, and I hope that maybe we can have as much fun this year as we have as much fun next year as we did this year. I think that's the key thing, is I hope the kids enjoy playing tennis. Not really wins and losses, not how many trophies you get, but whether they enjoy themselves or not is the key to high school athletics. And so I hope that next year we can have as much fun or more, and the trophies and things like that are just gravy on top. So I look forward to next year, and I thank you for such a good year this year.
Justin and Danny are going to come up. They have a little something for Coach Pierce. I'd like to present.
First, I'd like to give you a haircut, and if you can, thank you. Pierce, thanks for a great season, and just on behalf of Bobby.
You okay?
Wow. All right. This is my favorite president. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
program, we're going to have a drawing for the flowers. Beryl, would you come up? I put all the names of all the kids that are here today. So if your name is called, you'll get a centerpiece. Then you go ahead and draw. Okay. Vicki Sika. Jeannie Hendrickson. I didn't draw that. Beryl did. Justin Hewer. Adrian King. Leontine. Tracy Boyd. You can get whichever one you want on the table or anywhere. Ryan Radix. Robbie, will you get Ryan? We'll have 15 of them. Okay. Shelley Hewer. Danny Swanson, excuse me. Andrea Terratute. Mike Peterson. Tiffany Herring. Amy Schumann. Stacey Kleinman. And the last one, Josh Hughes. We thank everyone for coming, and we'll looking forward to having see you all back next year. Thank you.
Let me see a ring. Got you a ring. That is pretty. Did Craig's mom and dad go home when we did last night? Yeah, took his grandma and grandpa home, yeah. So I can hold it straight there so I can. Another trophy. Turn it back a little bit to it there, see. Okay. Do the other one now. The trophy. What did that say?
The Wildcat said that.
Yeah. Tennis.
Most outstanding, Harris Martin.
Did you got most outstanding?
Well, she and Vicky both got one.
Yeah.
Both won.
That's nice.
Never mind.
What? What? Okay. Let me fix
That's the best trophy I've ever seen, though, right there. Hold it up again. No. On your finger. Now that's a trophy.
Your leg. You did go for lunch. I ain't cooked anything, Angela, you know, so.
Now, tell you what, that barbecue chicken was real good. Real good.
You don't want that barbecue chicken?
You don't like that? How about boil you a couple of hot dogs?
You want hot dogs? Huh? Oh, I got some hamburger peppers, but that's a hot meat, you know that. What are you in the mood for?
Well, I put on your and
Would you like to,
Craig's picture there. See that?
would you like to have some of that meatless spaghetti? Boil some spaghetti and put some sauce on it? No. Boil some spaghetti and put some meatless sauce on it? Would you like to have some of that? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Would.
Dole and Del Monte.
Why'd you do that? You ruined it.
Oh, no. Because that's what we plantation in Hawaii, you know, when we went to Hawaii, as they say. See, I put on the picture. You notice that,
Oh, I
Carol?
didn't notice that.
See them? Dole and Del Monte. Well. See you later, alligator.
Hey! Uh-oh. Can I take a beat?
Wait a minute. What's that? Perfect
Dad,
Man?
we've got to go. Isn't this awesome?
Let's see.
The
Let me
perfect
see that.
man. I'll explain it to you when I get
Let me
there.
see. Hold it up here.
He's quiet, he's sweet, and if he gives you any crap, you can bite his head off. Alright, let's go. You got some shoes on? No. Oh, God, I forgot to put those on.
Different kind of, two different kind of bands, too. One is, this is called the, these are the Jubilee bracelets. And these are oyster bracelets. This
I think I like this better.
well, that's the one that's mostly.
Yeah. See, I've got one.
You got an imitation she's had lots
I want a real one.
do with.
And this one's got the little diamond dials on it. They're pretty, aren't they? And here's the diamond dial with no date. With the Jubilee. That's a beautiful watch there.
That really is.
It's
I
outstanding.
like that one.
That's, to me, it's smaller, okay? A little bit smaller, a little bit more feminine looking.
She seems to like smaller rings.
And I'll tell you something else. It costs very little bit more than this watch,
Oh, really?
even with the diamond dial.
Oh, I like that one. You like that, Dad?
Well, now, I'm not going to get into it. You're doing the picking. And I told her that.
We're beginning to sell more of the little watch like, so that's just a few bucks over what the other one goes. And this has got the diamond dial. The diamond dial sells for about that. Here.
Yeah, put it on you. Little, it matches up with that ring so well, doesn't it?
It doesn't take away from it. Just kind of.
Well, I don't know what you'll see first.
Yeah. Well, that's what that ring means, is what it means.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. That means old Craig is committed to it. He's a good boy. He's, they met each other in Sanford. And
What'd you say he does?
He works for Dixie Yarns.
Oh, does he?
he's in Charlotte, Gastonia is where he is now.
We started candy chill in about 1942 or 43. And the family absolutely could not operate the plant. They just didn't know how to do it. So we sold out to M. Hill Meats, the plant. But the restaurant is still in Nashville, still in operation. My uncle's running it, who was the son of the founder. And they just got an award from the governor and all that comes down to eat. It really is something. If you ever go to Nashville, doing it.
Sure will.
Let me get my books and papers and all this on here.
You happy with it? Yeah.
Because Mom, see, I just want something different from this, you know?
Yeah, I want the car, everything. Let me have the tag. I want to, well, I take this on me. Turn back. Sign the car. Let's see about this size. Should we moved it up, tight up? Might have to take the link out. I move it a little bit too much.
That's fine. No, I like that. That's
You like that snug?
Mm-hmm.
Now look, let me show you this. See, we moved it up in here so you can move this in and out here. See?
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
If it gets a little snug, you just, this thing moves down to here and down to here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is nothing but, and they put that in there. Starting. You don't get to wear it? Do you get to wear it now? We got a box and all.
Yeah,
It's not that. I know we're going to get all that, but I mean, do you want to wear it?
Yeah.
Well, okay. You're going to get boxes and more stuff. This will eventually, yeah, it's steel and gold diamond. Look, This will eventually kind of wear off. See, mine finally wore off, but that I just leave it on there.
Oh, okay.
See, that tells the number the model is.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here, 67193.
Mm-hmm.
Now, underneath here is a registered number, which he's looking for your registered thing right now. And no other watch has that. And they can tell who that watch was sold to, and we can tell who it was sold to from us by that number. Now, under this one is a model number, which is 67193. Okay?
Okay.
And
So just like in case it gets stolen and stuff like that?
that's right. That's right. All of it. Oh, he said it for me.
Yeah, she said she never used the date much at all.
It's a whole lot nicer watch when they do it. And if you want to check the timing, check it by the same electric clock, not by every other one and all that, because you're just as bright as somebody else. Okay? And when I write this appraisal, if you like, I'll add this watch to it.
Okay, be fine.
Let me have that ring, sure I haven't finished to do it.
I'll just drop this in my pocket for you.
And should I put this in your name, I presume? Should?
Yeah,
Yes,
at this
yeah.
time, yeah.
And your first name's what now?
Angela.
N-G.
E-L-A.
Got your middle name on there? Yeah, I don't guess you do.
That doesn't make any difference. What is the address that you want to use?
Just my home
You-
address, 4661 Peeler, P-E-E-L-E-R, Mill Court.
Mill Court?
Mm-hmm.
Dunwoody, if you don't mind.
Good.
Yeah,
Put Dunwoody?
Dunwoody.
D-U-N?
W-O-O-D-Y.
30338.
Okay.
I used to look at it.
Huh?
And I used to look at my watch and running it, seeing it run smooth.
Yeah.
I don't need anything, no, thank you.
Or just,
Yeah, I think they have you have the real Rolex quartz now, don't you, Frank? That
Yeah, they got a quartz.
yeah, because you was talking about the imitation there has a quartz movement in it. Let me see that. You just hold this for a minute. That's very pretty. Very pretty. The main thing is that you like it,
yes.
and you can be comfortable wearing it for the rest of your life. That's very dainty looking. I like that.
I think it is too.
I'm gonna put this 691, so move it up, okay?
Okay.
And if ever any work has to be done to it under the warranty, we'd have to have this done.
Mhm.
Dr. Riley ain't running by.
Yeah, you're getting your appraisal from here would be good to have, and the insurance companies and everybody will recognize it.
You said it weighs approximately 82 points.
80 points.
I don't think there's anything on his personal account.
Picture of it. They have for the files.
What'd you tell me?
I don't see how they can.
Make sure he doesn't switch it.
Huh? I don't think he would. It's amazing how they can, their eye, they can tell all the different clarities, and they can study each part of that and how just what it's worth.
I know it's worth
Worth $1 million.
$1,000.
Trillion,
This is
zillion.
like 50,000.
Yeah. Well, it ain't. Thing about it. That's really better than you having a BMW, because when you're not in the BMW, nobody knows you're in it. No matter where you are.
And plus you can wrap
You
it
sure
in
picked that up?
things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you picked it up picked that up pretty fast.
I
You must have
know.
knew about what you wanted, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see again. Yeah.
Let me show you something. That's what I wanted you to see. Show you something of a phenomenal in a diamond, okay? I picked it up. That's a black light.
Let me get my camera, if you don't mind. I'll put that. Hmm? If you don't mind. Wow.
See, that's a strong, strong fluorescent.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
And then a black light. No, what's your, it's not bad, it's not good. See, if you got a lot of diamonds and something, sometimes there'll be one or two of them that'll do it and one or two won't. This not, and those too small, you can't do it. But it's just a natural phenomenon. But some of them do that, some of them don't. Very few of them do it. That's strong. That's a very, very strong fluorescent stone. You can actually pick it up if you know what you're looking for in the natural. Then that's why I picked it up. They're not seeing that. Let me show you. So you can take mine. Mine won't do it.
Turn the long way. Hello? Yes.
It's not on, is it?
It's on.
Is it on? Yeah, it is. It's on. See, mine don't do that. See? You got any diamonds on?
No, I don't wear any.
Who was it told you to call?
Well, you see, let me.
That's amazing.
Why did I do that though? Just
It has a lot of,
what?
he had a word for it, I can't remember what he said. It's,
See, there's one in there that does. See? The rest of them don't. You see that?
You were able to pick that up with your eye, though.
Yeah.
You knew, you could tell.
You got to know what you're looking for, though.
Yeah.
It gives a. The tendency is to have it a little bit. It's a little bit oily. I mean, if you know what to look for. It's not anything detrimental, and it's not anything great. I just want you to know that it's not even. But it does it. And it's just a natural phenomenon that,
So if you're ever at a nightclub and it's shining like that.
that's
yeah.
right, that's exactly, if you're at a nightclub where they have black lights,
Yeah.
that you watch how it does, and then don't want you to get
I've
scared
had
when
shirts
you see
that'll do that, you know, white shirt will really do that sometimes.
it. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Which one did you get? Wow.
Yeah, that's, I think that's,
It is a good
I think she made a
Yeah.
wise
yeah.
choice. She made a wise choice.
Well, that's like you said, you know, right now it doesn't matter. Just you got to amortize it over the rest of your life.
Okay, where's your box?
Nice
Here's
box.
your little pad that goes in there. There's this. Keep it cleaned off if you ever use it.